Okay, we're going to do equivalent fractions. Our first fraction will be 1/2, and we're going to find fractions that are equal or exactly the same as a half, but sort of disguised. So what we're going to do here, I think I'll draw my half again, but I'm going to now cut the halves up to halves to make quarters. So it looks exactly the same, but it's just got another cut through it. And over here, a lot of people like to double them because they can see this double pattern going on. So they show 4/8. Okay. So 1/2, the red one, 1 out of 2 is the same as 2 out of 4 is the same as 4 out of 8. I'm going to show you something a little bit different. 1/2 is 2/4. Now, I'm just going to write that down. One half is equal to 2/4, and that in turn is equal to 4 out of 8. Now some people would continue this pattern and say, oh, I'm going to just keep doubling that and we're going to get 8/16. And what comes after that? 8 and 8 is 16. 16 and 16 is 34. That's how you do it. Well, it sort of is, but we're going to use multiples, so multiples of 2. So the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14, which means if we come back to our picture, 2 was the halves, 4 was the quarters, and the next multiple of 2, 2, 4 is 6. 2, 4, 6. So I'm going to have 6 pieces in my fraction, not 8, and I'm going to choose 3 out of 6 as my next equivalent fraction. So before I had the green 4/8, now I have 3/6. If I want to carry on with that pattern, let's do a new one where 1, 2, 3/6. Let's come back this way. 1/2 equals how many quarters equals how many sixths equals how many eighths equals how many, what's next? 2, 4, 6, 8 tenths. I know half is 2/4. I know also from the 6th work that I've done here that it's 3/6. And I know from up here that it's 4/8 as well. So I've got my halves, my quarters. I didn't get my sixths here, but I've got my eighths. I haven't got any tenths either, so I've got quite a few more before I get to 16. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 before I get to 16. So the problem with doubling is you miss out the ones in between, the multiples. Okay, you're just going on a 2, 8, 16, 2, 4, 8, 16, whereas you've missed these ones here. So this one was missed out, tenths would be missed out, 12ths and 14ths are missed out. So 4/8 is how many tenths? Well, let's look at tenths. Here's my 10 pieces. If I shade out 5 on top, it's 5 out of 10. Where'd he go? And let's do the next one, is how many out of 12? Well, if I follow that pattern, I kind of know that it's 6 out of 12. So let's come back here and do 12 twelfths. So here I have 12th pieces, each of these is 12, there's 12 of them in a circle, and 6 out of 12 is my half. Okay, so they're all equivalent fractions there for the same fraction, a half. Let's do a different one. Let's do a new one. We'll reset the table and we'll do thirds. 2 thirds. If I know my multiples of 3, thirds can then be changed into sixths. What's next? $12 or, yeah, 9. 3, 6, 9, then twelfths. What's next? Not 24, eh? 15. So we're going up in multiples of 3, counts of 3 along the bottom. And so many out of 18. Okay, 2 thirds is how many sixths? Let's go and chop it up. Four sixths is exactly the same size, and my next one was 9. 3, 6, 9. And I need the same fraction shaded in, 6 out of 9. Put them on the chart. 4, 6, 2 thirds, 6 ninths. What's the pattern here? Well, thirds to 6, I need twice as many. I need 2 more cuts for each third. So I multiply 3 by 2 to get 6. So I have to do the same to the top. I've got to multiply that by 2. 2 2s are 4. 2 thirds, 4 sixths. 2 thirds, 4 sixths. How do I get ninths? Well, from thirds, each of those pieces, now each of those big third pieces is cut up into 3 more. So I've times the thirds by 3 to get ninths. So I need to times the 2 shaded bits by the 3 that's within them to get 6 ninths. So 3's to get ninths was a times 3 pattern. So I also take 2 times 3 to get my 6 ninths. So whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Whatever I do to the top, I do to the bottom. 3 what's are 12? 4's. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 twelfths. So let's check out if 2 thirds, 6 ninths, and 8 twelfths are the same. Now remember, I've gone from 2 times 4 is 8 because I went 3 times 4 is 12. If I come from sixths to twelfths, it's a double. And notice also that my 4 can be doubled from here to make my 8. Okay, let's do a different one. Let's do quarters. Three quarters is the same as how many eighths? For each quarter, 2 more divisions inside make eighths, so quarters become eighths. See, 2, 4, 6, and the unshaded 2 there. 6 eighths. 4, 8, what's the next one? Twelfths. So the next multiple of 4 is 12, the third multiple of 4, which means there's 3 equal sized pieces within each quarter. That's why they're 12ths. And 3 there. 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9 there. Okay. Let's put them in our chart. 3/4, 6/8, 9/12. 3/4 is exactly the same as 6/8, is exactly the same. What do we do to quarters to make it 12ths? We times it by 3 to get to there. So we take the shaded part and we triple each of those 3 to make 9/12. There, correct. New fraction. We're going to do 2/5, and we are going to double the fifths to make tenths, which gives me 4/10. And now we're going to triple the fifths, or do the third multiple of 5, and make 15ths, 15 pieces. Because each of our fifths was multiplied by 3 to get 5 within, then I'm going to get 6/15 as my equivalent in 15ths. So 2/5 and 6/15 are exactly the same as is 4/10. They look the same. The green one has the same area as the blue one and the red one. But coming back to the red one, each of these fifths is cut in half, doubled, to make the blue. So the 2 doubles to 4 and the 5 doubles to 10. But with the green, the 5 triples to make 15, so the 2 needs to be tripled to make 6. 1, 2, 3. So they're all the same. And before we finish off, just a little example here of making equivalent fractions. Let's do the easy ones. 1 out of 11 is the same as 2 out of 22. And I'm not going to double that yet. I'm going to put the 44 job out here. 4 out of 44. Because in there I need the third multiple of 11, 33. And on the top I've got 3. So I've got the first 1/11, 2 22nds, 3 33rds, 4 44ths, and 5 55s. If you're good at your timetables, you will always be good at fractions. Let's check it. Let's again it. 1/10 is the same as 2 out of 20 is the same as 3 out of 30. 4 out of 40. 5 out of 50. If you just doubled it, yes, 1/10 is 2 20ths, but you would have gone straight to 4 40ths and missed 3 30ths. 4 40ths would have taken you to 8 80ths, and you would have missed 5 50ths, 6 60ths, and 7 70ths, as the same representation as 1 part out of 10 is 2 parts out of 30. Let's try another one. 1/5. The second multiple of 5 is 10, so the base becomes 10th. Let's clear that. The second multiple of 5 is 10, so 2 tenths. The third multiple of 5 is 15, so that's why we have 3 15ths, it's the third. And the next one is clear it. I wanted 20 on the bottom, 5, 10, 15, 20, and I want 25ths after that, and up here I've got 4 20ths and 5 20ths. So I just sort of counted on to do that one, but to make 5 into 20ths I have to multiply each fifth by 4. 5 4s are 20, so 1 4s are 4. Go back to the menu. I'm going to get equivalent fractions that are a little bit harder. 6 out of 7. My second multiple of 7 is 14. So I doubled the 7, so I've got to double the 6 as well. 12 14ths. I'm going to put out here the double of 14, which is 28. But I'm going to come back to that 7 there and say that I needed to times 4 it to get 28. So I also have to times 4 the 6 to get 12. I'm labouring the point because I want you to see the pattern. 7, 14, here should it be 21, which is the third multiple of 7. So it's 7 times 3 is 21. So 6 times 3 on the top is 18. Whoops, clear that. It's 18 out of 21. Now that's exactly the same as 6 out of 7. 7 4s are 28. 7 5s here are 35, and 6 5s are 30 on top. Okay, so we're using our multiplication principles. Let's try another one. I'm just going to do a couple of these. I make 5 into tenths by doubling it, so 4 double is 8. I make 5 into 15 next, so I times 3. So 4 3s on the top is 12. Next one's 20. Let's do an again one. 4 ninths. The next complicated or big fraction after that is to double 9 to make it 18. So I doubled 9, and so I've got to double 4 to make 8. But you know what? 4 ninths was not the beginning step for that fraction. If you in fact look at that number there, you can do nothing with it actually. Let's have a look for another one. All done. The next part we'll do is the next lesson, simplifying.